Good day, my fellow entrepreneurs. You're welcome to yet another exciting episode of The Entrepreneur with IBM Bangis. I am IBM Bangis and I remain your host for this show. Now, some of you came to my social media handles requesting that I dedicate an episode of this show to a topic that is making waves around the world, and that is cryptocurrency. Now, most of us know what cryptocurrencies are, but for the benefit of people who are back home who don't know what cryptocurrencies are, cryptocurrencies are digital or virtual currencies that are used for trading or buying and selling of goods and services. The same way you use the likes of your naira, pounds, dollars to buy goods and services, that is the same way you also use the likes of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and so many other coins out there to buy goods and services. But unlike your normal currencies that are regulated by governments, cryptocurrencies are not regulated by governments. And that's why so many experts around the world are of the opinion that cryptocurrencies are risky to invest in. Now, imagine if you were to imagine if you were to deposit 1 million naira in your bank account. Even if your financial institution was to face difficulty, you will be rest assured that you will get back your money because of agencies like NDIC and the central bank. But in the case of cryptocurrencies, once you lose your money, that is it. It's gone and you can never go to anybody to want to complain that you've lost your money or something. One other factor that makes or that is making a lot of experts around the world to say that crypto investing in cryptocurrencies are risky is the volatility of the currency itself. Now, cryptocurrency is a currency that is very volatile. Imagine a currency, or let me say, imagine an asset that is not even worth up to a dollar shoots up to about 50 or 60,000 dollars. Now that is very, very high, or that is a very high rise for any asset. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't invest in cryptocurrency. I'm not also saying you should invest in cryptocurrency. But whichever way you take, I just hope you employ your research and thinking skills to make the right decision so that you will not regret at the end of the day. Investing in cryptocurrency might be a risk. Not investing in cryptocurrency might also stand out to be a risk of its own if it was to get implemented or adopted around the world. Now we're going to take a break, but after the break, I'll be introducing an amazing guest in the house today, an entrepreneur who is making an amazing, incredible amount of success in his entrepreneurial journey. Someone who is an expert in cryptocurrency and will also talk to us further about cryptocurrencies. Now stay tuned after the break. You're welcome back to the Entrepreneur with IBM Bangis. Now, before the break, we were talking about cryptocurrencies, and I talked about how risky it was and about the volatility of the coin itself. But left to me personally, I believe cryptocurrencies or the crypto market is like the new stock market of our generations. Just the way you buy stock and shares and expect them to rise in value is the same way you also buy all these coins and expect them to increase in value so that you make capital gains. Now, in the studio here today with me, I have an amazing guest, an entrepreneur who has made an amazing, incredible amount of success in his entrepreneurial journey. He is none other than Jerry Obida, the CEO and founder of Huber Diversities Global Limited. Mr. Jerry, you're welcome to the studio.
Thank you, Bangis.
You're welcome. You're welcome,
Thank you
sir.
very much.
It's such an honor to have you here on the show.
Yeah, the honor is mine, bro.
So, just before the break, Mr. Jerry, I was talking about cryptocurrencies.
Okay.
And I want to ask now, in your opinion, what is your take on cryptocurrencies? Do you think people should invest in cryptocurrencies?
Yeah, good day, viewers. It's been such an honor sitting with you here, bro.
Thank you so much.
Before I proceed, I would like to introduce myself.
Okay.
I'm Obida Jeremiah, the MD CEO of Huber Diversities Limited, a software developer, an agri-businessman, and a crypto expert. So, following your question,
Mm.
the thing is, just like every other investment that we have, agriculture, stocks trading, forex, treasury bonds from the government, I think cryptocurrency happens to be one of such outlets. So, about investing in cryptocurrency, I would like to say Just like every other venture, the one thing you need as an investor,
Mm.
first and foremost, before diving into any sector of the economy or any kind of business, is information.
Of course.
You need to actually get this information. You need to know what you're about to go into. You need to actually do your research and have your understudy and know, okay, should I put my money into this?
Or
Is it,
should I not put my
should I
money?
not? And when you consider the risk, you also look at it and you're like, oh, like the risk involved, is it okay to actually go with? Is this something I can actually play around with? Is this something that even if I fall short of my investment, I can still actually stand?
Mm.
So considering all these factors, you actually come to your own personal decision.
Of course.
There are a lot of businesses out there, but you don't find a lot of people going into. People feel this is what works for them. Like you know what works for you, you're willing to take the chance. But cryptocurrency is what we're talking about today, and I for one would say cryptocurrency is a beautiful thing to invest in.
Okay.
It's actually a beautiful thing to invest in.
So you think people should invest in
I think people
cryptocurrencies?
should invest in cryptocurrencies because it's actually beautiful.
Okay.
It's actually beautiful.
Okay.
Because when you look at it, it's the next thing.
Of course. Of course. We
We're
all
in an age
believe that
where
actually.
the fiat currencies are actually fading out.
Yes, exactly.
We're in an age where buying and selling has become easier across the world, seamless transactions, void of the cost of transaction. I
Definitely.
mean, the invention of crypto came as a result of the high rate of cost of transactions.
Exactly.
Doing business
Exactly.
across different continents
Exactly.
and countries as it was
Exactly.
becoming overbearing.
And sometimes
Banks
how
have
long it takes for it to
for
even
it to
reflect
actually
on the other
you
side.
get it like
Definitely.
the time involved, the cost of transaction, like imagine you doing a transaction between Nigeria and China and it delivers within a split seconds.
Exactly.
Like no matter the amount involved, millions of dollars, like in that value, in that very digital transaction, you
Yeah.
can move close to $1 billion
Of course.
from Africa all the way to China without
Exactly.
no obstruction in time, and you get to save so much. You get to actually save so much. I think if you do $1 billion worth of transaction, you're saving
Okay.
yourself close to $1 million. I
Exactly.
think crypto, so far so good, happens to be one of the best things that's happened to the world.
Wow.
Yeah,
So in your opinion, people should invest in
people should actually
cryptocurrencies.
invest in cryptocurrency, but with actually with diligence and good understanding of what the
Exactly.
sector is.
Exactly.
You need to know
Definitely.
what you're actually going into.
Definitely.
You need to actually know what you're going into.
Definitely. Okay, now talking about information and diligence, which you mentioned. Now, if I was to invest in stocks right now, there are so many factors I consider. I look at the profitability of a company. I also look at the liquidity of a company.
Yeah.
Now, what are the factors that people should consider when investing in cryptocurrencies?
I would say you should look at what's backing the coin you're investing in.
Okay.
Because the general theme for these cryptocurrencies, a lot of people actually have the general theme on the blockchain is actually a coin.
Mm.
So before you go into investing in any crypto, you should actually carefully understudy it. Look at the white papers.
Mm.
Every crypto has a white paper that is actually backing it. You look at the white paper, you strive to understand what's actually backing these coins. So you look at it and know, okay, if this is what you perceive, you can risk on.
Exactly.
Because every coin is backed up by a certain idea, a technology, or an asset. Lately, you have coins coming out that are backed up by gold.
Okay.
You have those backed up by agriculture.
Okay.
You have a lot of them that are actually backed up by softwares,
Exactly.
blockchain softwares.
Exactly,
Like Ethereum
definitely.
is backed up by blockchain softwares.
Of course.
So
Of
the
course.
more softwares built on the blockchain, which means investments on Ethereum
Mm.
are actually going to be profiting, they are yielding.
Exactly.
So for every software that is developed on the blockchain technology using Ethereum, there's an increase in yield of that very investment.
Of course.
So like let me stress on this just within a minute.
Okay.
Unlike the popular assumption, people just feel crypto is another form of currency out there, just like the naira or the dollar.
Exactly.
That's not really the gameplay.
okay.
I mean,
So it's
besides
something
the,
different.
it's actually different. Besides the Bitcoin, which is almost absolutely abstract, like Bitcoin until date, I don't think it has a known backing.
Exactly.
You understand?
Exactly.
Besides
I'm
it,
sure
I
even the
think
owners, people don't even know the owners.
people don't even know the owners of Bitcoin
Exactly,
till date. I
exactly,
think
but
besides
we're
the
still
Bit,
investing
they
in
still
it.
invest in it. But I think besides the Bitcoin, every other currency out there has a backing.
Okay.
They have yellow papers, they have CEOs, they have the owners of this coin that tells you this is what we're going into with your investment.
Yes.
So buying into crypto is not like you're buying a currency, you're actually investing in stocks.
Okay.
So I think cryptocurrency is just the future of what we used to call public offers, ICOs. So the ICO, the initial token offer, is what replaced the ICOs.
Exactly.
The complex nature of going public with an average idea. Maybe you have a business now, for example, if I want to take Hubac public, there's a lot involved in doing that.
No, definitely.
But it's easier for me to have an ITO set up, push it out there, and people buy into it, form of crowdfunding.
Exactly.
If you
And
reach
before
a
you know,
certain
you
mark
even
you've set up,
raise more money.
you raise more money and you do your thing.
Of course.
So crypto is actually using the fiat currency to invest in a certain business that has its representation digitally.
Yeah.
So everything you see, you have like 100 coins today, is representing the amount of fiat, the dollar or the naira or the pounds or the euros you've actually pushed into that very institution.
Exactly.
Now, as time goes on, as trade value moves, these currencies grow.
Okay.
It's just like your dividends on investment.
Of
You
course.
get returns on it and it's growing.
Of course.
And there are days where business go bad, just like the stocks market.
Exactly.
They fall.
And then it falls.
So behind every coin you see out there, besides the Bitcoin, which until date I cannot really say for, every other coin you see out there,
okay.
Behind what you see, like on your trade index, there's actually activities controlling them on the background.
Okay.
They actually trade activities controlling their rising and falling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think, and again, sometimes was it last year or so? I think there was this issue that most companies face around the world of ransomware,
Okay.
where hackers were hacking into people's computers. They will lock your information, and then in return, you have to pay them. But then they were not asking you to pay them in dollars or in naira. They actually were asking for you to buy Bitcoin and send to them. Now, because of that, a lot of people are of the opinion that that crypto should be eliminated because it is giving way or giving room for all these illicit activities. So, what do you want to say about that? What do you have to say about that?
You see, the thing is, um, just like every other system,
Yeah.
we have our lapses and you have your loopholes. The idea of people hacking into crypto wallets and holding people to ransom, you get trying to collect payments in bitcoins, asking you to make a transfer and the rest. I don't think it's anything different from the regular individuals who hack into regular bank accounts,
Okay,
dollar
and
their accounts and request for ransom. So I think in a general term, it's same everywhere.
Okay.
Like you build a system, you have those. There are those who live there at night just to actually sabotage our sites.
Yeah,
even your average website, there are
Definitely.
those who struggle. Their only aim is, I want to break into this system. I want to hack it. I want to actually prove myself and hold these people to ransom.
Okay.
So for every I mean, it took until last year for these things to start happening. I was expecting it like way earlier.
Exactly.
That means the system was really, really, really proved to an extent. Like it's had so much proofs. Because if it's not that proved, I mean, from the days of the early arrival of crypto, you'd have been hearing of these things.
Exactly.
And after that, a lot of developers started working on building shields upon this. So I don't think hacking into a crypto base, hacking into someone's account to actually hold him ransom or steal his coins is a very good or a reasonable. I don't know how to put it. Like it doesn't sound reasonable for me to begin to clamor that it should be dropped down.
Just
For
because
every,
of that, I think.
I've had situations where people took money from my bank account. So,
I think it's the same situation.
and none of these banks actually
the
shut
naira
down
should be banned because kidnappers
or because they hack our accounts and take our
naira.
money from our accounts. The bank should be
Exactly.
closed down. I think the truth is, before that happens,
Yeah.
being a software developer myself, an architect, a software architect, before that happens, there should be information that have been leaked out there.
Okay.
Like before, it's usually not abstract. This person has had a form of contact with you, either through spam emails or something to spy information from your system, your laptop, or your phones before he's able to gain access to this. You don't just come at random and hack into my account. No, with the blockchain technology, it's a little bit difficult to do that.
Okay.
Some go ahead as far as holding you on interactions on your email.
Of course.
They use some other means. Maybe advertise something to you, sell you an idea on another platform, take certain information from you and relate it to an existing account somewhere. Because before you get a crypto wallet, you provide your email, you verify your email, there are steps of verification and all of that. So some take this information and bypass protocols to get into your account. You don't just come out of the blues and just dive into someone's wallet. That's it.
Of course, definitely. Okay, so then, like, I don't know. Actually, I want to invest in Bitcoin personally.
Okay.
I could remember when Bitcoin was not as much as it costs right now, and I wanted investing, but then I think it went down. It went down a bit. and then it increased up. Right now it's about $50,000 or $60,000.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah,
50 or
about yeah,
60?
about 50, sixty
Okay.
thousand dollars.
So do you think Bitcoin has reached its peak, or do you think there is more to it? There's more growth to it?
Yeah, basically Bitcoin just started growing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for the truth, Bitcoin just started growing.
So right now you're telling
Because
me to go and buy Bitcoin.
I think you should still buy the amount you can, even if it's 1,000 naira worth, just buy it. Because the thing
I should
is,
buy at fifty thousand
just buy
dollars.
at $50,000, even if
Okay.
it's one coin you're buying, and you can still buy in bits, even if it's 1,000 naira or $1,000 worth, you can still actually do that.
Okay.
Because the thing is, Bitcoin has a stipulated amount of supply
Yes,
it's
exactly.
getting to, and that time is getting close.
Definitely.
After that time, Bitcoins will no longer be in supply.
Of course.
Now, what's actually bringing the rise in Bitcoin so far, like I told you, is one of the only coins out there that doesn't really have a known backing.
Okay.
What is actually bringing its rise in value? It's actually the pressure pool. Because
The
of
fact
its
that people are,
limited supply
yes, and
and
then
the
there's,
demand,
of course,
there's a
of course,
pressure pool.
of
It's
course.
just like how do I explain this to be easy?
It's just the law of
It's just
economics,
the
you
law of
know.
economics.
The more
Yeah,
the
the more
demand, the
demand,
higher the price and all.
but for the nature of Bitcoin,
Mm.
at the point you have $1 million chasing after, let's say, 10,000 bitcoins.
Okay.
Now you have people who are ready to float $10 billion.
Wow.
I don't even stand
Of course,
on
chasing
same
the same
amount
amount
of
of
coin.
Bitcoin, of course.
So it's only logical
Mm.
that this coin actually expands to accommodate.
Exactly.
Because unlike the regular fiat that you have, dollars and pounds, naira, and all of that,
Of course.
that could actually just be accessed by a central base, like the central bank or something across the
Exactly.
world. Like you have your treasury that deals with the supply.
Exactly.
Bitcoin supply comes from the hash of the system,
Okay.
and it takes weeks and months to mine. So you don't just expect to pull a demand of 2 billion as against a coin that is worth 10 million and expect it to go. The
Of
coin
course.
has to expand
Yeah,
to accommodate.
definitely. Of
So
course.
the truth is, as long as Bitcoin continues to gain acceptance across the world,
Okay.
the value will continue
To
to
increase.
rise. Because
Okay.
of the truth, of all cryptocurrencies you have out there, every coin depends on Bitcoin
Exactly.
to do
Exactly.
their
Exactly.
final exchange.
Whenever Bitcoin drops, you see
They
the rest of
all
the coins drops also.
because it's actually dependent on to do the final exchange.
Okay.
Whatever coin you have out there,
Mm.
all depends on Bitcoin.
Of
I
course.
always say this to most of my peeps. The one true cryptocurrency, like the one I'll say this one is money, like it's actually money, is
It's the
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin, I mean.
Every other one are actually company stocks.
Okay.
Bitcoin is the one
That you can actually
cryptocurrency you
call
have there, like
crypto.
this is a currency. Every other one are actually just stocks. Just the way we rely on the dollar to do selling exchange. There are
Exactly.
certain things you can't buy out of Nigeria without converting your currency, your naira into dollar to make the. That's how other coins rely on Bitcoin
Of course.
to carry out certain transactions.
Of course.
It's
Definitely.
actually that point of exchange for most coins.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so now around the world, actually, we've seen situations where you see in countries they have ATMs that you can go in and cash out your bitcoins.
Yeah.
And we've seen merchants who accept Bitcoin as a means of payment.
Sure, sure.
Now, what do you think needs to be done, especially in Africa, to increase the acceptability of Bitcoin or cryptocurrency as a whole?
I think following this trend, the merchants also, just like what we said, are the first point of call for acceptability. Because the thing is, across Asia and the US, you even, like you said, ATMs are there where you can just withdraw BTC and all that and do your transactions.
Of course.
Because no matter how much Bitcoin you have, there is an offtake. You have merchants who are ready to take it from you. Right now, you can't just have one Bitcoin in your wallet in Nigeria and walk down to, let's say, ShopRite, that you want to use the Bitcoin and make purchases.
Of course.
Because one, they are not accepting.
Exactly.
And one law that makes anything, like even the wristwatch in my hand, like a currency, is acceptability. If I decide to offer you this wristwatch as a means of payment and you accept it
Of course.
and give me something else of value,
Exactly.
we've established that this has become the means of exchange.
Definitely.
So
definitely.
if people, that's I mean, like the people in Africa, because this issue is actually in Africa as a whole, if we have more Africans accepting this coin, coming to understand it, because before acceptance there's understanding.
Of
A lot
course,
of
you need to
merchants in
understand
Africa
what it
don't
is.
understand what this crypto thing is.
Exactly.
They don't know what it's here to do. Like a lot of them are still looking at it from afar. Until you continue to preach the gospel of crypto, they get to
Okay.
understand and they start accepting.
Okay.
That is how we can actually come to that crypto age. Because even the CBN fighting crypto at the point in time. The day that news came out, I told my friend, I said, guy, this will no understand what this thing do. Because you averagely tend to fight what you don't understand.
Definitely, definitely.
Crypto is a very beautiful thing. And if merchants will get to understand it, they get to understand that if I have this, I can easily use it anywhere. Like a lot of people start accepting it, they start understanding how it works.
Of course.
I think that's that point we'll get to and say, okay, even Africa now uses crypto. Because for every coin you have in your wallet, man, except for your fellow cliques like my own kind of people and that actually understands where we can spend this letter, no one really just takes it from you.
Of course.
You go online, you see people every day asking Bitcoin for sale or who has for sale. These are people who wants to use it. But if that understanding is there, you can walk into anywhere, just like you have it in Asia.
Exactly.
Have a Bitcoin ATM somewhere, withdraw your crypto and spend.
Of course.
So I think the key to that is actually preaching the crypto gospel. Let people understand this, then we'll start having acceptance.
Exactly. So we're going to take a break now, Mr. Jerry, and after the break, we'll continue our discussion on crypto. Don't forget you're watching The Entrepreneur with IBM Bangis. Stay tuned after the break.
So we don't have the right to complain. We don't have the right to make suggestions to government. We don't do the people that way.
The ability of the legislature to act as a check on the executive, to what extent has that been real? To what extent have they been allowed?
The people of Nigeria want credible, free, fair, acceptable election. And the bedrock for free, fair, credible, acceptable election is the legal regime.
Just before the break, we were discussing Bitcoin with Mr. Jerry Obida. So, Mr. Jeremiah, back to our discussion on crypto. Now, how do you think people can access or buy cryptocurrencies? Because here now you're telling them to buy cryptocurrencies, but then a lot of them don't even know what cryptocurrencies are. So then how can they access it? How can they buy it? Is this something you go to the market and buy? Is this something you buy online, or how do you go about it?
Yeah, the thing is, a lot of times, like for let's say 9 out of 10 times, I've always subscribed to currencies at the initial token offer.
Okay.
So one way to buy crypto is actually using your fiat to actually make purchases from a broker. Like when you're in time to actually buy before the currencies are actually deployed out there for exchange. Then another way is to actually get a crypto wallet. Then before now, I don't know if it's back. I know CBN actually stopped banks from doing direct exchange for cryptos. But
Exactly.
we had wallets like Luno and the likes of them who do these exchanges. Like you transfer your fiat into like the normal currency into their bank accounts and they actually credit you. And you also have the P2P exchange. That also, like currently, that's the one that is widely used. Where I now, who has already purchased tokens at initial token offer, have them in my wallet, and you're just coming into the whole crypto world. You want to make purchase. I can take payments in fiat, do a bank transfer to me, then
and then you send.
Yeah, I transfer crypto into your wallet. So basically, that's actually like the three most available ways of actually buying this.
And talking about the platforms to buy them. Now, how safe are these platforms? How safe are they? Because I think there are a lot right now. Actually, even in Nigeria.
In Nigeria, we have a lot of wallets. Yeah, exactly. Speaking from a developer's angle, I think this technology is actually very safe.
Okay.
Yeah, we still have those people out there that even right now, if you ask them to supply their BVN for certain things that has to do with them, not even crypto, they are very skeptical. They're like, you want to use my BVN to access my account. These things, I think, like I said from the beginning, information is power, information is key. These platforms are actually very safe. They have end-to-end encryptions, especially with the blockchain technology. I mean, even if you that does a transfer cannot trace your transactions, except once it goes through, these are untraceable transactions. Like it just exists within the blockchain. If you yourself cannot actually go back to
trace it yourself,
then show you how protected these servers are. It's actually open source, and open source systems are usually very, very protected. It doesn't have a centralized database where you say someone can break into it and steal information. Every single device that is actually accessing these currencies are actually servers of their own. Yeah, they're actually servers of their own. That's why a lot of people tell you crypto mining. It's you giving up the hash of your phone or your system
Okay.
to make these transactions go round. So
Okay.
you have a piece here, a piece here, like little bit of pieces
Exactly,
everywhere.
exactly,
So it makes it
exactly.
difficult for one person to just come and infiltrate the system. They're
Of course.
actually very, very, very protected.
Okay.
The only way someone gets to take your crypto, like I said, is if he has a close call to an information. And these have to be hackers.
Okay.
Like, let's say programmers gone rogue.
Exactly.
So
All right.
basically, it's that safe.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. Now, what advice would you give to people out there who are back home watching and would like to invest in cryptocurrencies?
Okay, you see, this is not actually a direct advice.
Mm.
Before tomorrow, you say one crypto expert came
Exactly.
online
I
and
bought
asked me
crypto
to,
because of Jerry
to
Obida.
jump into crypto. Like there's one Jerry Obida out there that said we should go and invest
And now
into
I've lost
crypto,
my
and now
money,
I've
so
lost
he
my
needs to
money.
pay me back.
Don't come and look for me to give you your money. Now the thing is this, like I said, most of the coins out there actually have their backings.
Okay.
So one of the things you need to do if you're out there thinking of going into cryptocurrency is to actually get this information straight. You look into the white papers, like if you're just joining up, even if you're buying into an existing coin, a coin that has already been deployed, they still have sites that you go to. You hear of a coin, you do search on your Google, you see their site information. On those sites, they have what they are about. Every coin has what it's about on those sites. You read it. If you're actually interested in what they sell, like what this crypto covers or the technology behind it,
Of
you can
course.
go ahead and put in your money.
Okay.
But the truth about it is, they say the greater the risk, the greater the reward.
Of course.
We are still understanding crypto. We're
Okay.
still trying to understand it more. Every day we learn new things about it.
Exactly.
It's come to stay, that we're sure of.
Okay.
But how to go over it, how to gain that solid ground, not to be on the losing side at any point in
Exactly,
time. Like
definitely,
every day we're
definitely.
still on that.
That's what I'm scared of
So,
myself.
so you do your thing, you get your information, you
Okay.
invest. But one thing is, no risk, no reward.
Of course.
You
definitely.
can go out there and do it, but I'll tell you for one, this is coming from me. It's a beautiful thing and it's worth taking the shot.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
it's worth taking
So
the
at
shot.
this point, we're gonna call it a day. Thank you so much, Mr. Jerry, for this amazing insight about cryptocurrencies. You are watching The Entrepreneur with IBM Bangis. Don't forget, if you want to be part of this show, or you want to promote your business, or you want to get involved in any way possible, you can reach us out on our social media handles at ENTR_IBM Bangis. That's the short form for entrepreneur. ENTR_IBM Bangis. And do have a lovely day. Thank you so much for watching.